The Spirit of the Work World. Chapter 1. The Spirit of the Work World Essays. The Spirit of the Work World 1. Do what keeps you inspired and earns you money if you can find such a job or business. Explore your interests and motivations. The real world is much harder than it looks on TV. Most young people find out the hard way. Know your field. Have a passion for it. It's about making money, doing what you want, being able to help your employer. If you do small things well, people will give you bigger things to do. The 3 things every employer wants are: 1. Dependability, show up every day on time. 2. Skill, you can do the job. 3. Initiative, if you finish a job, you don't sit around, you do another job. All companies except for nonprofits and the government are in business to make money. They want somebody who's motivated to make money by being of service to them. You have to assess your field. Some businesses always have an excess of workers, like journalism, because it's interesting, while some industries never get enough good help, like many of the technical fields. I read somewhere that the job of stationary engineer is one of the most underrated jobs around because it's easy. You just look at gauges to see that a building's boiler isn't going to blow up, and it pays well. In Canada, where I live, the provincial government of Manitoba is so strapped for tech workers that they're going to Iceland to look for them. That tells you something about us when we can't produce enough tech workers for ourselves. The government is either not putting the money up for tech ed, or we're too lazy as individuals to get into tech fields. It's not rocket science. Tech nowadays is like watching gauges or replacing parts. You have to know where your industry stands to determine if you have leverage, which is bargaining to ask for a high salary and fringe benefits. I know that it's hard for some people to toot their own horn and act like an arrogant hotshot, but you have to do this somewhat as though you're gung-ho to be of service to the company. You have to pound the pavement to constantly look for work. Don't listen to what anyone says about not doing multiple applications. Keep applying until you get a job. If you get to the end of your list, start sending out emails and letters to the same people all over again. Remember, in order to sell yourself, you have to appear as a motivated worker and not someone interested in the salary or the benefits. In a nutshell, what employers hate most is arrogance, especially out of some snotty-nosed kid who thinks he's hot stuff because he's got a few academic degrees. I heard they often don't hire these guys and look for people a little older with less academic credentials, unless it's a young buck who's wise enough to be a good brown-noser by acting humble and complimentary to his boss. For most jobs that aren't technical, they don't care about your so-called academic credentials all that much. They really care about things like your ability to get along with people, your ability to be a people person, ability to think on your own, to solve problems as they come up, your ability to do your job and work independently without somebody always having to correct you for being a screw-up, your level of decency, morality, politeness, and middle-of-the-road common sense, your neatness and neutral fashion sense, your level of inspired potential, enthusiasm and vital spark or lack of it, your ability with words, to write and speak well, your ability to listen. Sociable personality. Being a non-aggressive person. In today's world, this is a problem. Angry people. Don't be too free or too rigid. Be in the mainstream middle like a sensible person would, who doesn't believe in anything but the situation at hand. If you can do your job adequately, that's fine, but employers like either someone who can be a true expert in one thing or a jack of all trades, someone who can do a bit of everything. Being an average worker will not get you noticed. Remember that most bosses, especially if it's the company they created, know what's going on, and if they see exceptional ability, they will want to use that person in a greater capacity. Don't sit at home mailing out resumes and application forms. Get out there where people are, where the work is. When you're looking for a job, always be at your best because you're always being interviewed. Know the resources, especially your government employment office and your local library. If you need money fast, take a menial job and keep looking for a better one. The menial job might give you the networking connection to a good job. It happens all the time, but you have to be out there, part of life. The reason why anybody who's willing to work hard even in an economically depressed area can make a good living is because the demand for goods and services never ends. People always need the basics and somebody has to provide them. The truth is that most workers are average. There are very few really good workers out there. I read somewhere that 75% of all people say they don't really like their jobs. If you're a truly good worker, you will get a job and promotions because you've got no competition. Most people are average with average motivation. If you're a good worker and work for a dead-end company that doesn't offer you upward mobility, find another job and keep going until someone rewards you appropriately for your hard work by moving you up the ladder of success. A motivated, inspired person's energy is boundless. Someone will see it and open a door for you to shine your talents onto the world as long as you're out there going for it one way or another where you can be seen. The particular field doesn't matter. This is the way life really works. If you're stuck about what to do for a living, go to the profile websites I provide or find the dictionary of occupational titles at the library and look through 1,000 or so job descriptions to get a feel for what you might be interested in. If you want to know what kind of businesses are in your area, look in the city and state directories in print at the library, which tells you where you can get that kind of information in your area, or go to indxonly.com. If you feel you've got special skills and want the right people in your area to know so they will hire you, try Who's Who in America, Geographical/Professional Area Index. Employers look for 3 things: personality, attitude, desire to work. The spirit of the work world is that everybody starts at the bottom, does good work quietly, others notice how good and nice you are, then they come to you with opportunities. If you go to them with blanket resumes or vain rantings, they will blow you off. You always have to prove yourself first by showing that you take time and pride in your work. Most employers don't give that much of a damn about formal education in general fields. They really care about proven experience and potential, so if you can prove yourself at one job in your field for a few years, you're well on your way. If you want the job, study the industry, company, product, etc. Do some research and maybe present a few imaginative, original ideas to improve the business. Then once you get the job, keep doing it. Mass mailings rarely work. Personalize every cover letter you send with your resume. Sell yourself. Don't let rejection get you down. Life in the real world is rejection after rejection followed by success. The spirit of the work world too. First impressions are lasting impressions. If you're willing to get dirty and work hard, you can find work anywhere. Think like the employer. He's looking at you to see if you fit in. Are you motivated? Can you take orders? Are you a team player? Are you professional in demeanor? Can you help him or her make money? Beyond networking, the key to finding many jobs is through trade organizations and industry periodicals. To find out about magazines and journals in your field, go to your library and look under the relevant topic in a periodical directory, Gale.com, ulrichsweb.com, willingspress.com, or the Standard Rate and Data, SRDS.com, which is a book that lists media for companies who want to advertise and are researching the different mediums. With this information, you can network into more information. Also refer to Associations USA, omnigraphics.com, the Encyclopedia of Associations, Gale.com, or National Trade and Professional Associations of the United States, columbiabooks.com, at your local library. The emerging trend is online job search services for specific trades and professions. If you're on the internet now, you should be able to find some of these by using carefully chosen words with search engines. Without a doubt, the most stable, expanding industries of the future worldwide are allied health professions, computer hardware, software, internet technology, and IT/information technology. If you have a skill in any of these areas, you can probably pick the country or area where you want to work. Regardless of what field you're in, learn basic software and internet access, then put it on your resume. If you really want to work, go to Las Vegas where you can train to be a blackjack dealer in a couple of weeks and work at that if you want, but regardless, there are plenty of offshoot jobs and the city is always expanding, so in my opinion, this is the place to go if you want a half-decent unskilled job with good pay. As Sin City, or the city with the reputation as America's fun place, you can't miss, plus there's a huge normal residential city beyond the Strip. From October to May, it's a great place to live, but in the summertime, it's hot. With all the casinos springing up in America, once you get a skill as a gamer, you can probably work in any casino you want. Orlando, Florida is a huge tourist mecca year-round, as is Hilton Head, South Carolina, Palm Springs, and Pebble Beach, California, all golf meccas. Branson, Missouri is expanding all the time as an entertainment mecca. These are the types of places where you should be able to find a reasonably pleasant job. If you have a job now but want a better, more perfect job because of the grass is greener syndrome rampant in modern society, do yourself a favor, don't jump out of the frying pan into the fire. Keep your old job while quietly looking for a new job. Don't quit and assume you will find another one. Find a new job first, then quit. If you love what you do and are willing to release all that inspired energy into becoming a virtuoso, you will get the job and the money will come. The way to almost guarantee a job is to keep going back, hounding who you want to work for and offering to work for free for a week or two to prove yourself, and if the boss doesn't like you, then you're gone, no questions asked. Do the least, most lowly job better than anyone else on the planet. Be willing to get your hands dirty doing the dirty work. Pick a field you love to do. Your inspiration will show through. When you love what you do, it's play. If you get like this, once you get your first job, you will develop such a good reputation that you won't have any problems finding successive jobs. A job is an opportunity to solve a problem. Be bold enough to offer companies solutions, or bold enough to create your own business. The most qualified person doesn't necessarily get the job. The one who's the best at job hunting does. Keep up with what's going on in the world so you know which direction to go in and possibly create an opportunity for yourself. Most jobs are not advertised. Go where you want to work and keep bugging them for a chance to prove yourself. Be willing to start low just to get into a field you love. As you prove yourself, you will rise. Constantly learn your field of interest, even if you're currently unemployed in it. If you love it, stick with it. Believe in yourself. Don't just learn your field, learn about the job market in it. Dress cleanly. Become a member of your trade/professional organization. Identify corporations in your field. Contact them. Meet them. Ask to do an internship. Be persistent. If you don't have a job in your field, place ads on freelance computer bulletin boards and in newspapers offering your services. One well-done temporary contract as a freelancer could lead to a full-time job. Many people who start their own businesses are lured to work for a big corporation after they do a good job for them. Look healthy, clean-cut, or at least not sick. Have a mixed submissive/confident attitude. Be motivated about working. Give off the impression that you're a go-getter. Have a sense of humor but don't use it during the interview. Be neat. Be well-mannered. Don't be arrogant. Exude a sense of responsibility about yourself. Be persistent for what you want. Be a good speaker. Be a good people person. Show you can think, solve problems and create your own ideas. Show you can be a team player. Show knowledge of the field and the knowledge of where to find information in the field. Show you're motivated by doing a good job rather than just for the money. Learn from interviews. Try #650.14 or HF5382 at the library for books about looking for a job. The spirit of the work world 3. The path of life for most people is not a straight line, it's a bunch of detours and roundabout lines. To get what you want, you can't be too proud. Ask others for help. Every job search is a lot of rejections before you get a chance to prove yourself, unless you've proven yourself so well before that everybody wants you. You have to give off the impression that this guy will benefit/earn more money by you being there. Tell him what you will do for his company, not what can he do for you. When you're coming off a termination from one job, get that straightened out first with your benefits and references before you move on, and whatever you do, don't badmouth anybody on your way out. Don't burn bridges. You never know when you will need that company again. The biggest commandment in job searching is to act upbeat, like you're ready to work even if you're depressed due to lack of success so far, but there is an art to it. Don't be so upbeat that you give off a vibe that you are desperate. Be upbeat but not desperate. Don't beg. If you're going for a skilled job, don't say you will do anything just to get the job. Let them know you're ready to work, but don't let them see misery, depression, or desperation. It turns people off. It shows weakness. People don't want to be around weak, miserable people. I think depression is the biggest stumbling block for anyone out of work for longer than 3 months who are actively looking. It has a way of catching up to you when nothing seems to be panning out. The way the inspired people deal with it is that they don't sit around and mope. They are doing something on the side to earn money, even if it's a low-life job, and they are doing things like working out, taking a class, etc. The worst thing you can do is sit around at home waiting for a job to come to you. Big-time company people rarely hire someone based on an online resume. You have to be out there making the scene. Don't take your depression and frustration out on your spouse and kids. I know one guy who got depressed looking for work, so rather than sit around the house and let his family watch him mope, he went to the big college library every day, found some corner and read books for 4 or 5 hours to deal with it. The story of my life is that I was living footloose and fancy-free as a yuppie with a decent job, but I couldn't stand it. But that didn't matter much because I lost it anyway, and I was lucky to have enough money so that I could live frugally for several years, which I did. During that time, I discovered how brainwashed I was and how I had a standard inside of me away from capitalist ambition, but I still had to earn a living, which is one of the reasons I wrote these books. But the other reason is that I'm doing something that inspires me anyway. If I wasn't writing this book, I would be doing something intellectual and creative, because that's what I do at night, since TV by itself bores me. I can't stand computer games or other trivial pursuits like internet chat room crap, so I enjoy doing this. The morale to the story is find the true standard in your soul. Do something with it to help people, and you should be able to earn a decent living at it, regardless of whether it's a job or a business. Jobs are not what they once were, the only path to success. Many people without a clue in business start small businesses and succeed. I've written several books about this. There are alternatives besides a job. If you're not working, set up a plan to keep a roof over your head for now. Live cheaply, do an odd job or two, apply for unemployment or welfare, if applicable, get food stamps, look in the phone book under federal government. Keep a roof over your head while you're looking for work. Create a good resume. Try to tailor it to every different company or position you apply for. It's always about networking. That's the hidden job market. Most people give and get jobs through the grapevine, hiring or being hired by someone you know or the friend of a friend. Be positive. Act like you're out there pounding the pavement, making the scene, even if, in actuality, you're sitting home depressed, worried that you won't find a job, end up homeless, then you will kill yourself. This mode of thinking is actually very common for greenhorns who have never been through hard times before. This is how I felt when I had my first big letdown, but you learn to snap out of these things and take control of your life. If you have a skill, try the freelance or contract jobs websites looking for temporary work to keep you going. Sign up with a local temp agency. If you're an expert, consider hiring yourself out as a consultant, which I've written about elsewhere. The greenhorns are thinking and saying, what can you, the company, do for me? The smart job hunter says with a smile, what can I, the person, do for your company? You can pick the greenhorns out at interviews because they are so self-centered. Listen to your intuition. If you're offered a job that doesn't feel right, you could try it out, or you could wait it out and keep trying until it feels right. I see entire books dedicated to resumes at hashtag 650.14 at the library. Get real. Just use your common sense in drafting up your resume. Use salient keywords that will show up on your resume searches. The internet is good, but it can waste a lot of time. Try to focus on the big job websites, a job website in your skill area or a job website for your local area. Rather than job websites, find the companies in your field and apply directly to them. Many have a jobs icon on their website. Do research on the companies you're applying to online. Try to find friends or a support group of job seekers online. Try careerjournal.com/calendar/index or vault.com for a list of support groups. If you're posting resumes, repost every month because they're all looking at the most current ones. A month-old resume is ancient history. They assume you've either gotten another job or are depressed, so keep it current. If you're tight for money while you're not working, I get into frugal living in my money book. I would say the two most important things in any interview are: 1. Are you a people person? Are you likable? 2. Are you a serious, hard worker type with a sense of duty and dedication? Study the companies you want to work for. Get specific names. Send personal letters along with your resume. Be a good communicator. The ability to speak well spontaneously defines who you are. Study the job search field to learn your way in. Be straight, strong, professional, humble, and confident in your interview and resume. Don't get depressed and give up. Keep working at the job of finding a job. Don't look stressed out like everybody else does. Look upbeat and inspired. When you fail at something, you're not a failure. Either work harder or reinvent yourself. By the same token, if you're in a dying field, find another profession. Winners in life are the optimistic people. If the capitalist sector doesn't seem receptive to you, try the nonprofit sector or look for a job overseas. Bitterness will keep you down. It shows through your aura. You have to show your value to them. They don't have to show you anything. Think like Jesus. Try to be a good person. The spirit of the work world. 4. Put yourself in the employer's shoes. What's he looking for? Everything in life takes time, including job success. Many young people want it all and want it now, the title of a song put out by the pop band Queen in the 1980s, which got to me because it was so true. Young people want it all right now after college, but when they find that all they're getting is low-paying entry job offers, they get depressed. Get real. Everything takes time. Besides, you always live alone in your head. Whether you have a great job or a crappy one, whether you drive a Jag or a bike, whether you're a president or worker plebe, it's still you alone in your head, so get stable. Don't let things get to you. It's always all about you in your own head. The golden rule to successful job hunting is that you have to be a suckhole, albeit a subtle one, but you have to swallow your pride and become a phony, bubbly yes person to get the job, or just simply be such a great master at your skill that they want you real bad. The art of brown nose, shoving your nose in someone's poop in order to get what you want, is about being keen. When you walk in, the guy sees you dressed for the part with the phony yes smile, and he knows you're his boy or his gal, so chances are he will pick a safe guy like you over the more independent, cavalier guy who nobody tells what to do much. Think as though you're showing this guy your untapped potential and energy. If people want to work with you, they have to like you first. I believe that the secret is two things: either connections, or if you don't have them, you just have to keep plugging away until someone recognizes your special abilities as a hard worker. Believe in yourself. You can do it. Don't compromise your values for a measly job. Be flexible, nice, and cool, and be yourself, even if a little enhanced. If you get the job, be a team player, always dress appropriately, be on time, and be dependable. Straight up, I'm telling you that blindly sending out resumes, answering ads, online databases, trade journals, resume databases, etc. will all yield marginal results. The two vastly superior ways to find a good job are to network and to have the guts to hunt down the places in your area where you want to work and either make an appointment to see either the personnel manager or the manager or walk in off the street, introduce yourself and demonstrate your skills and hard work ethic uniquely in some way. If you don't have experience or skills, sell them on your enthusiasm and willingness to learn. You got to find the right guy who has the power to hire you. Offer your hand to shake and simply say something simple like, I'm looking for work, I'm a good worker, or I'd seriously like to work here, I'm a good worker. Look him right in the eye and shake hands firmly. Tell them you can do it better than anyone else. Ask for a chance to prove yourself. Even offer to work for a week for free if you have to. The way it works in any business, even if they're not currently looking for anyone, is that there's always room for a great worker. If you're good, they will take you even if it means getting rid of one of their slackers. That's the bottom line. You have to walk in off the street well dressed and serious, though not desperate, but all business. This is the real proactive way to do it. Luck is simply opportunity meeting hard work. You have to make it happen yourself. You have to be out there making the scene to get a part of luck. One guy used the proactive approach to look for work and just happened to walk into a place when some other guy quit. He got that bit of luck because he was out there doing it, not like some deadbeat wasting postage sending out hundreds of resumes, sitting on his butt watching stupid TV shows all day long waiting for a job to come to him to his door. It won't happen. You have to find the job, it won't find you. Use the yellow pages of the phone book for leads. This should become your Bible for the job hunt. Get leads from your local chamber of commerce too. Pay no attention to the size of the company. Check them all out. If you're super keen, you won't walk in blind off the street. You will do research on the company before you even set foot in it by identifying the exact person you need to see, showing knowledge of their operation and possibly offering practical ideas about how you can help. There are company profile directories at the library and on the internet. They list the names of the current major managers. The company website will list them too. You can get managers' names by calling secretaries and pretending you're a salesman or something so that when you walk in off the street, you can ask to speak directly to the boss by name, and if they ask why, just say it's personal business. Even if they don't need anyone right on the spot, don't give up. Pop in on the manager every week or so in person, just ask him if anything's going on and split if he says no. Try to network with the employees by making pleasant small talk with them. Tell them you're looking for work. They might know something important. Sooner or later, they will either get tired of you bugging them and give you the job, or they will start to think you must be super keen, so they will give you a chance to try you out. Fill out the application form if they offer it, or ask to fill one out. If they offer you a crappy part-time weekend job, take it, prove yourself, and they will take you on full-time. On a talk show, I saw one woman who thought she could sell cars although she had never sold cars before. She went to about 25 dealerships in person until one guy figured maybe a lady salesperson would be good for his business. After 10 years, she now owns several auto dealerships. This is the real deal. You have to get guts and take proactive initiative. Don't just blindly send out resumes and expect some faceless manager to call you out of the blue. These guys are proactive too. They always check out who they know before going to that pile of resumes on the desk, so you got to network and take action. Note that this approach works for private enterprise, not necessarily for government bureaucracy unless you know an insider with the power to hire people. Taking a close second behind the face-to-face approach is to use the telephone proactively. Call up every company you find in the phone book, ask to talk to the manager, ask him about work, and ask him if he'd mind if you came in to see him. Impress him on the phone with your skills and experience. Regardless of the state of the economy, there are always good jobs in every field if you're good. However, Don't be an idiot and choose a dying occupation just because you like it. See the writing on the wall via the media, magazines, and other current information. Refer to the federal government's O as discussed elsewhere. I'm an investor in the stock market. I basically know what's going on in the different sectors of the economy by studying investments, i.e., which sectors make the greatest percentage profits or losses every year. It's that simple. Check out a few investment magazines like Money, Forbes, Kiplinger's, Business Week Incorporated, Investors Business Daily, Wall Street Journal, etc. to get a feel for it. They're all at the library. People always need medical attention, food, a place to live, and they will always die. The funeral industry is big business. Even though the introduction and networking methods are boss, don't give up on all the other methods. Use all of them. Be creative. Combine different methods, for example, answer an ad by going in and asking for the boss by name, then tell him about how great his company is doing as an over-the-counter, OTC, stock. He will be impressed that you know, unlike 99% of the other clods out there. Any easy way to get annual reports of any companies traded on a stock exchange is to simply send them a letter stating that you're a potential investor and you want this obligatory report that they're required to make by law, or go to sec.gov. Positive change comes down to attitude. I won't give a patronizing blurb but merely say that all people are emotional and they're looking for your emotional center. Be like them. If they're white collar, act white collar. If they're blue collar, act blue collar, a little rough around the edges. There are some universal constants that everyone is looking for. They want a serious, pleasant person who enjoys life and enjoys their work. Become that person. Never be dull or desperate. Carry yourself with dignity and grace. You don't need any phony, so-called self-help psychobabble to do it. It's all within you. You just have to have a plan and be relentless in your efforts. Choose an area that you really like, that you think you will enjoy and be good at. Focus. Do what you have to do. The real world is tough, but you got to be tougher. Keep at it and don't give up no matter what. You must totally believe in yourself. There is no central clearinghouse for the job hunt, and there are no experts who know it all. That's why you have to become your own expert in your search for a job. Learn well now so that the next time it happens, you will know what you have to do. Business, health, computers, and service are always where it's at for anyone with the guts to go for it. There's always work for people like speech and occupational therapists. Go for mid-sized sites rather than the big ones where there's a lot of competition. Your best bet is to find the free government employment agency in your area and use it. The spirit of the work world 5. Finding work is a full-time job. To find a job, you must research your industry. Research the hidden job market in your industry. Make up a good resume and put it out on the internet. Always follow up with contacts you make by calling or going in person to keep bugging them about job openings. If you think the government employment service or a recruiter can help you, sign up with them. Volunteering or doing an internship could network you into a job. Consider creating your own job by starting your own company. Set your own responsibilities, things you must do every day to get a job. Wake up early at a set time to start looking for work. Look hard for a job, all day, 40 hours a week. Be your own boss, or appoint a friend to be your boss, to make sure you carry out your job search responsibilities. Outline daily activities to look for a job. Apply for jobs early in the day. This will make a good impression and give you time to complete applications, have interviews, take tests, etc. Call employers to find out the best times to apply. Some companies take applications only on certain days and times during the week. Write down all employers you contact, the date of your contacts, people you talk to, and special notes about your contacts. Apply at several companies in the same area when possible. This saves time and money. Be prepared. Have a resume, pens, maps, and job information with you all the time. Follow up leads immediately. If you find out about a job late in the day, call right then. Don't wait until the next day. Network. Tell everyone you know that you are looking for a job. Stay in touch with friends and contacts. Follow up new leads immediately. Read pamphlets and books on how to get a job. The time you spend reading these materials will save you time in your job search. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS.gov, the jobs on the increase in order are medical assistant, home health aide, radiologic technologist, medical secretary, financial services sales, travel agent, computer systems analyst, computer programmer, human service worker, corrections officer. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the jobs on the decrease in order are electronic assemblers, farmers, stenographers, telephone/cable TV installers, sewing machine workers, mixing machine operators, textile machine operators, machine feeders, hand packagers. The spirit of the work world 6. One job is a stepping stone to the next. To make it in life, you have to look for opportunities, and if you can't find them, create them. Most people hire someone they either know, someone in their neck of the woods, someone with the right skill and experience, or simply someone who looks like they can do a full day's work. You have to look healthy and willing with a gleam in your eye that says, I want to work. You want a job worthy of your ability which pays reasonably well. Anyone can find a cheap, run-of-the-mill job in the classifieds, but the search for a good job takes tenacity and the right positive attitude of looking at it as an adventure, a learning experience, a piece of detective work where you go and look at what's out there and find a good job that fits for you. Rejection is a part of life, but a negative attitude doesn't have to be. Have a positive attitude, look healthy, go out and get any job to get some experience in your field. Then after a while, you will probably hear about better opportunities through the grapevine. You have to start at the bottom everywhere, work for a while and either try to get promoted at work but look for a better job in your field at the same time. I've heard of people with skills that were in demand doubling their income simply by looking for another job while in their current one. In any job, the boss isn't stupid. He's checking you out to see how humble and hardworking you are for the flunky jobs, and if you prove yourself there, he will move you up. If you're a slacker who watches the clock, he will see it and write you off as a dud. The easiest place to look is through the yellow pages. Look through for companies and fields you want to work in, then go there in person and keep going back asking for a job. Most job contacts have an element of luck to them. You have to be at the right place at the right time, which means pounding the pavement. If you really want the job, keep going back and asking the boss if there are any job openings, and sooner or later, he will give you a chance. Bosses are always looking for good workers because it's so tough to find really good ones in the midst of the casual atmosphere out there. You have to be keen, energetic, and tough, and someone will see it and give you a job. Talk to everyone you come across, tell them you're looking for work and ask them for leads. The more pleasant and confident you are without going overboard with arrogance, the better you look. Employers generally don't like quiet people, they want someone a bit extrovert who speaks up for themselves, so talk, tell them why you're good, why they should hire you. Be a good conversationalist whilst being respectful of the interviewer or boss. Work experience and life experience is important. Even if you worked a wide variety of menial jobs, tell them about it, write them down on the application form as long as you stayed there over a year and weren't fired. It shows some work experience and a willingness to work. If there's a job available you don't really want, maybe you should take it to give you money, experience, and possibly network you into another job. While you're looking for another job, you will already have a job, so you just have to tell the people who interview you that you've gone as far as you can in that other job, you're looking for something more challenging and meaningful. Be flexible. There are very few perfect jobs out there, especially if you're a beginner without much experience in the field. Life in every field is about selling and proving yourself every step of the way. It never ends until you retire or die. Always keep an eye out for a better job no matter where you go, be it social or work related. Attend meetings, workshops, even do volunteer work in your field. Socialize with people in your field, help them out somehow, and they will return the favor when there's a job opening. Do your present job well. Be a positive spokesperson for your work. The spirit of the work world 7. An employer wants to know if you can do the job. Will you show up every day? Do you have a commitment to the job, or are you just punching a clock for money? Will you fit in? Will you respect his or her authority? They want to see energy, heart, interest in life and work. Just about every job has an X factor beyond skills and ability to show up. Do you get along with people? If you're really desperate, you have to intern and volunteer to stuff on your resume and to network. I can't tell you which job searching methods to use. Some are quite ineffective, like randomly mailing out resumes without prior research on the company to target a few specific individuals in it. But in today's world of emails, if you can find the emails of companies, which isn't all that hard, although no corporate email directory lists exist to my knowledge except for a relatively high fee to get an email address for every specific email you request from an information search company, you can send out your resumes almost for free. In any case, I list the most common job searching methods here. You have to decide what will work best for you. Use the free government job service centers. Network with people you know. Ask them if there are any jobs around where they work, or do they know somebody looking for somebody. Target your search to companies you're qualified to work for and you feel you have a shot with based on your research. Try to get the name of a specific individual or several in the same company to send your resume to. Find out who has the authority to hire you and try to contact that person or those people. Answer ads in professional and trade journals. Answer ads in job newspapers. Answer ads in local, state, national and world newspapers. Go to newspaper websites for newspapers all over the world. Get a list of companies in your field. Use the company/industry website section and randomly mail out resumes to every name on the list. Hire a headhunter or list with an employment firm. Pound the pavement. Walk into company offices, introduce yourself, ask to speak to a manager, have a copy of your resume on hand, tell him you're willing to work hard and looking for a job. Go to your local yellow pages and call every company in your profession to ask if they're looking for new employees. Use internet job websites or do search engine searches for your field with the words job or career tacked on in the search. Use one of the job club, news groups, or job support group websites out there, but I'm inclined to think that if you're in a job group all looking for the same job, they aren't going to sharing their leads with you. You're their competition. Use a career counselor. Go to a career fair. Use the employment service offered at most colleges. As an exercise in organizing your thoughts, write out exactly what you would like to do and the type of company you would like to work for. For a general list of what job possibilities exist, either ask your local librarian for a copy of the Standard Industrial Code/SIC or look it up on the internet. The following is a general list of the major fields out there. For more information, look through the Yellow Pages phone book. Accounting, advertising and public relations, aeronautics, agriculture, air travel, architecture, asset management and retail brokerage, assisted living, automotive, banking, beauty, cosmetics, biotech and pharmaceuticals, brand management, business executive, civil service, communications, computers, construction, consulting, consumer products, defense, dentistry, drugs, education, electronics, engineering, entertainment and sports, farm work, food production, forestry, graphic design, grocery, healthcare, hospitality, human resources, industry, information industry, information technology, insurance, interior design, investment banking, investments, law, librarian, management consulting, manufacturing, marketing, marketing and market research, media, medicine, military, music, nonprofits and government, paper/pulp, photography, publishing, real estate, recreation, restaurants, retail, safety, software, sports, supply chain management, telecom, television, textiles, toys, transportation, travel, venture capital, wireless, World Wide Web. The spirit of the work world 8. Be formal but not to the point of being a bullshitter asshole. I read a career handbook that seemed to go too far, always telling you to send a thank you letter after an interview and send a letter even if you get a job but don't accept it. Take it easy on this stuff. It's not what it's about. It's about your spirit. The interviewer senses that you got it or you don't. You can send unsolicited emails to HR people or executives at companies and just say I'm looking for new opportunities in the field of lighting engineering or whatever it is. Could you please tell me what skills you're looking for so I can upgrade my education in anticipation of applying for work with your organization? If you make a good impression and continue to maintain the relationship, the guy will likely contact you when there's an opening. If you wait until a job is advertised, chances are that all the people with an inside connection will have already applied. Many people submit their resumes to dozens or hundreds of websites without any personal contact, which is why you have to try to make personal contact with HR people and managers somehow. Posting resumes randomly on job sites rarely land positions. It's still about networking. Do the hard work of calling and meeting people. Assume that prospective employers are checking up on you on social networking sites. Soft skills are communication, teamwork, leadership, writing ability, friendliness, etc. Employers want people who are personable. It doesn't matter how technically talented you are, you have to show people skills too. Employers love to hear that you're a team worker or team builder. The older you are, the more you can emphasize your wisdom and experience. The younger you are, the more energetic you can be. Anyone can say they're a fast learner during an interview. It sounds like you're willing to do new things. Don't underestimate your look and don't underestimate the company climate or culture. The people who read resumes get to know that most of them are at least 50% hype, so try to lay off the bull. Research the job market. Read the daily newspaper online to learn about job openings. Contact the Chamber of Commerce. Seek out virtual job fairs. Keep your resume up to date. At career fairs, bring 40 to 50 resumes. Perform a grammar and spelling check of your resume. Tailor your resume to the advertised job description. Focus on your skills and strengths. Focus on the specific results of your work and your achievements. Use high-quality paper in a neutral color for your resume. Use common fonts like Times New Roman. Focus on what's unique about you. Send your resume and cover letter in one email message. Make the file name your name. Employers scan incoming resumes into a database, and when they have openings, they search for resumes using relevant keywords. Include industry keywords. List information in order of importance on the resume. Avoid generalities. Focus on specific information about you. Mention if you are proficient in a foreign language. Ask permission before using anyone's name as a reference. Tell them you're self-motivated, a team player, and perform well under pressure. Include specific information about why you want to work for the particular employer. Be clear and concise. Demonstrate your knowledge of the field. Align your experience with what the employer wants on your targeted resume. In your cover letter, show why you are a good fit. Send the resume to a specific person whenever possible. Take a good look at the job responsibilities and design your resume to match these as much as possible. Write an original targeted cover letter for each employer and position. Show that your career goals are aligned with the organization. Proofread for typos and accuracy. It's always about what you can do for them. Stress what you have to offer, not what you want. You're always selling your ability to make a positive contribution. Be honest and confident. Know your strengths and weaknesses. The spirit of the work world 9. Identify your strengths. Define the type of job you want, then create yourself to be the best person for that job and market yourself that way. Don't take rejection personally. Focus on what you can control. Get a professional sounding email address. When you have a personal business card, you convey a professional image. Many word processors provide templates to create your own. You can buy business card stock paper for your computer printer or take your file to a local printer or copy shop. Include a picture. Put the title on the business card as the job you want to get. Include your address, phone number, and email address. Get voicemail, put a professional message on it and answer calls quickly. Interviewers want to know what you're good at. Be ready to tell them without bragging. Identify your greatest selling points so you can sell yourself to your potential employers. Make people feel comfortable by not acting too arrogant, too immature, too insecure, or too bumbling. People who are happy and strong give off a vitality vibe. Read my health book. Anybody can spew off stuff they've accomplished, but so what? It's what you can do today. Employers take one look at someone and size them up. Do you look like a healthy, ambitious, hard-working go-getter? That's it. One time I was filling out an application for a cleaning job with 3 other guys. He told all the other guys he would call when something came up. He gave me a job on the spot. The reason I remember this is because I went down to the hospital with my 3 buddies. He never called them ever. I thought about it, then realized it was all based on first look. I was a weightlifter and all that. My buddies were average-looking guys. I looked healthy. That's why I got the job. All that stuff on your resume matters, but so does our primal instant judgment instinct. Here are some strengths employers like. Adaptability. Conscientious. Creative. Detail-oriented. Drive. Empathetic. Flexibility. Hardcore skills. Knowledge. Leadership skills. Managing people. Motivated. Multitasking. Outgoing. Problem solving. Reducing expenses. Social. Team-oriented. Try to figure out what you really like to do, then go for a job from there, because if you go after jobs, you'll get bored and either get fired, quit, or get depressed. Employees define the following factors as most important in job satisfaction. Like the work. Job inspires you. Good pay. Not excessive hours. Comfortable, peaceful work area. Good industry. Good company. Good benefits. Upward mobility. Location, near hometown, or not. If you're desperate, take any job. It could network you into something better. If you don't like your job, look for another one while you stay at this job. It's about what you can do for them, not about what they can do for you. Remember that when going in for an interview. Try to figure out what they want. How can you help them make more money and or look good? With human psychology, if someone senses desperation, they think that person could be a loose cannon. Most people don't hire desperate people. Too much emotional baggage. Play it like you're a popular guy, in demand by others. Send resumes to the HR office but also to the managers of departments and their sub-managers. Resumes are like a TV commercial. Stick to the main point. Get rid of the bull. List accomplishments as well as your knowledge of the industry. Put on the top of the page short description providing an overview of your personality and experience. This is your tagline/headline. Don't put down the position you're applying for. Keep it open. They might use you for something else. Stick to the facts. Networking seems embarrassing, but if you need a job, think of everybody all the way from college buddies to church people and call them. Just ask them what's the job situation like. There are also professional organizations and networking websites. Look around your local area for a career or job club where people go to help each other find jobs. Job hunting is a numbers game. Keep meeting people and knocking on doors. If you have identified companies that have a current job opening, try finding out the name of the direct manager in charge of it, then send them an email. Cold calls are necessary sometimes. Just introduce yourself or simply say you're in that field, looking for new opportunities. When making cold calls over the telephone, turn off the caller ID protect feature because that way, it's more likely to be answered. Write down a list of companies that you are interested in. Go to their websites, call receptionists to get the names of people. Use phone books too. The spirit of the work world 10. Postal mail is not dead. You can still send resumes and cover letters through the mail. Target your mail to the managers of departments. Look in local newspapers for ads and articles in the business section. Use trade associations, trade shows, recruiters, some are free for job seekers, college career office and chambers of commerce. Don't burn your bridges. You might want to go back to your old job. Treat everyone with respect regardless of how you feel. Do some research on a company before you go in for the interview. Just type their names into a news website. Show confidence and enthusiasm. You have to sell yourself. Maintain a positive mental attitude. Nonverbal communication is often more important than verbal in an interview. Thank the guy at the end of the interview. Stay calm during the interview no matter what. Don't talk too much. Think win-win. Never interrupt the interviewer. Talk as though you want to be part of the team. Life is not like it used to be where you could get a job at a big corporation and be set for life. It's normal to switch career fields. It can be rejuvenating if you find something close to your true nature. Don't present yourself as a perfectionist. Present yourself as a fallible human being who works hard. Take care of your health so you look good at job interviews. There are job support groups around. Don't wait until you're unemployed to network. Always be networking, especially when you're on top. Dress appropriately. Have a 1-minute presentation of your job abilities ready at all times. Always be professional and prepared when job hunting. It's a full-time job to find work. You will find that most of your family and friends will not treat your job loss or unemployment as a serious, desperate tragedy. They will be casual as though a job is like a bus. Another one will come by in a few minutes. Nobody really understands except for other unemployed people. Double-check application forms you fill out. Get someone to check your resume and cover letter for grammar and spelling mistakes. Don't show up late for interviews. Don't assume that any company is casual like some are reported to be in the media, so you show up for the interview in casual attire. It won't fly. It shows disrespect and arrogance. If you put the accent on top of the last E in the word resume, your email program might screw it up. Stick with the plain E. Conduct research about the company before the interview. Edit your resume and cover letter for every job you apply for. Tell your references beforehand that you want to use their names as references on job applications. Present contact information for your references like at least an email address. Instead of applying for 100 jobs, pick 10 and do your best to present yourself. The spirit of the work world 11. The spirit of the work world is not to say how wonderful you are, but to say I can help you get what you want because I would love to do this job for you. Show how you'll make or save money for the company. boston.com/jobs/galleries/10 Resume mistakes. The employer doesn't want to hire someone who will leave, so he's looking for someone who says I want a long, steady career with your company. If you come across as a hotshot, the boss thinks you'll move on to the next hotshot company. If you're a bit more conservative, you come across better. Go easy on praising the company because it's easy to come off insincere, but talk about how inspired you are about your love of your work. How do you make someone fall in love with you on a resume and in an interview? Don't apply for jobs you don't really want. Enthusiasm to work hard is a big factor. It's not about you, it's about what you can do for them. Dale Carnegie says, a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Know the interviewer's name and say it a few times formally, as in Mr. Boss or Ms. Boss. Use the full, formal company name during interviews too. Be ready to answer why you would like to work for Company X. Read its website, then make up your answers. Use the company's words as a starting point for your own answers. Never badmouth anyone, not even the company's competition or your former employer. Don't act motivated for money and perks. Just say I'll work hard, then we'll see what I'm worth. One mistake in a resume or on an interview can ruin your chance for a job. Always double check a resume. Try to get an email address which describes your profession, like architect@boo.com or it-pro@games.com. Don't put negative things on your resume. You might think that coming clean about being fired or failing the professional exam 3 times makes you look honest, but it just makes you look bad. Everybody has things in their past they are not proud of. Leave them there. There should be nothing left to chance in a job search. One mistake can destroy you. Most employers pay close attention to everything. Don't ever presume that because the interviewer is in your profession that you are bosom buddies who can be relaxed and casual. They want a show of submission or deference. If you don't show it at an interview, you never will. Proofread all your documents. When you see a job ad anywhere, the best time to apply is right away, especially if it's new. If a job ad has been there a week, chances are it's filled unless it's a very specialized job. Another approach is to find the 10 leaders in your field and send out great resumes to them, then keep hounding them with new resumes, cover letters, etc. Get an internship, join their online groups, etc. The problem isn't the problem. The problem is your reaction to the problem. If you've been unemployed a while, you're wondering what's wrong with you, but there's a good chance that the problem isn't with you, but your strategy. Unemployment often causes shame and shock, but most of the time it's not your fault. It's the economic climate. Stay calm and do the best you can within your abilities. Read most of my books. They're the best in the world to provide knowledge about how to take control of your life. Nobody cares that you're unemployed, particularly people looking to hire new people in your field. They want to see somebody upbeat who can help them, not some down and out desperate person. You could be a fabulous worker and still lose your job. You have to just look at finding a new job or a new way to earn money and block everything else out. Sometimes it helps to get a generic job while you're looking for a career job. You can't be ashamed of losing your job because it's a normal part of life. You should have been doing something beforehand to prepare yourself just in case. You can't wallow in self-pity thinking you got screwed. So what? Nobody cares except for what you can do for them. What do you do well, who do you know, and where do you think your skills fit best? Don't be too picky. Take any job in your field and prove yourself. Don't rely on postings on the big job boards or on company websites. The help wanted ads in local newspapers aren't that good. Most good jobs require a skill achieved through some kind of education. I'm not necessarily talking about a social sciences skill or the generic knowledge some guy with an MBA might have. I can get that knowledge reading a business book, so what? If you want a good job for life, Find a skill that never goes out of style like water company meter reader, dental technician, wastewater management. Skill jobs are on national job boards, industry publications, and with recruiters. Education takes time, so while you're doing it, get any job that will pay your bills. Many requirements in job ads are quite lofty. The hirer wants too much and he probably won't get it. Apply for jobs where you meet 1 or 2 of 5 or so requirements. If you're good at those things, that might be enough. You have to convince employers that you can do the job and you really want it. If you're too picky, you're screwed. Take any job you can find in your field. It's a way to network. Don't let your anger show during interviews. Don't think about your competitors. Think about yourself. Don't be arrogant. Have a clear and objective vision of yourself. Be flexible as to what jobs you will do and where you will go. You're not a prima donna. Beggars can't be choosers. Work to create more options for yourself. Always upgrade your formal education and look around for new opportunities. Fear can be a good motive, but it can kill you too. It's best to just be positive. If you're in a declining field, look for a new field to get into. The spirit of the work world 12. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We were all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. They say that in the 1930s depression, the unemployment rate was only 20%. That means 80% of the people were baking bread, teaching, counting money in banks, building roads, etc. They say our young people are a lost generation. I say they are overeducated in soft social science, artsy-fartsy skills, expect way too much and don't want to start at the bottom. What do you expect when we live in a society bombarded by all that glittery, pop culture entertainment celebrity stuff? Everybody wants to be a celebrity or at least live like that fake glamorous life portrayed on TV, which I know is fake because I've been everywhere that the world says is cool, and I know that I create my life alone through how I live day by day, but I'm enlightened. Most young people are delusional, naive, and stupid about reality. My point is the first 2 lines of Charles Dickens' book A Tale of Two Cities. There are always a bunch of unemployed people around. There are always people thriving. You have to decide to be a person of action and not let societal forces mess with your life. You have to work every single day. Preferably do something you love to do. If you're not working a job, be educating yourself, working a business, or looking for a job. The lazy, unsuccessful way to look for work is to send resumes and look online. The best way to look for work is to network. If you don't have that, then you knock on doors. You look in your local phone book and other company and business directories for companies and organizations in your field, then make the bold move, send a letter, email, call them and show up saying you can do a good job, you're interested in that field. Employers are always looking for good people in their field. Bosses want to see 2 things. 1. Energy, health, drive, and vitality. 2. Proven track record. The easiest proven track record is you proving to the boss you're good by doing an internship, working as a temp, or offering to work for almost no pay for a week to prove yourself. If you have proven skills like a portfolio of work or references from credible people who will say you did a good job somewhere, that's almost enough to get you hired. Beyond that, bosses trust what their equals in work and business tell them about other people. Bosses trust employment agencies and headhunters who have brought them good employees in the past. Bosses advertise in the newspaper and through the government job service, but the people they meet through these entities are unknowns. They try to avoid hiring unknowns as much as possible. Most bosses have been burned by a slick person with a slick resume, so they're onto every trick. The psychology of the work world is that the boss is looking for why he should eliminate you from his hiring pool. You have to look at it from his point of view. Think like a human resources professional thinks. Read a couple of performs and interview questions lists so you can get into their lingo and give them what they want. Try hashtag 650.14 at the library. You have to be enthusiastic but not bubbly, because bubbly represents naivete and phoniness. Accomplish a wholesome look by looking healthy, having a strong voice and having ready answers like you are a person of conviction and work standards. You love to work. It gives you a purpose. That is what you are trying to convey to them. Everybody has their own fantasy, lifestyle, or image. People in general are so self-centered that they do not want to deal with people who are not like them, so whenever you network or interview, act like the person you're trying to get something from. It's easy to pick up on what they're like. Look at them, look around their office, listen to what they say. Do your homework before meeting someone. Look them up on a search engine, on social media, then you know what they're like and you can pretend to be like them. If you're looking for work at big companies, be bold by going past the HR department to find the names of managers. Send them an email. Say you're in the field, you love it, you can be a good worker for them. You just need a chance to prove yourself. Always make it about what you can do for them, not about how great you are. Don't bullshit. If you claim to be a hotshot at something, then the guy asks you some basic question that you can't answer, you're done there. If you have no skills and you're desperate, like let's say you're fresh out of college with an MBA. Tell the truth. Say you're willing to do anything to get experience. If you have a skill, try to look for work related to that skill. Don't say you'll do anything. Say what your specialty is. People run on emotion. They get a feel for you. Never try to outshine the interviewer or the boss during an initial conversation. Be calmly confident. The spirit of the work world 13. Don't act depressed or desperate. Act normal, not perky. Be serious and professional. Defer to the interviewer. Show respect even if he or she looks like a creepy nerd. Do not write a long resume. Keep it short and relevant. Do not create your resume and other documents in an obscure format. Use MS Word, doc. In the resume, be specific about what your objectives are. Say exactly what your skills are, not some general BS about being a workaholic. Do not write a rambling cover letter about your virtues. Keep it short and to the point. Don't introduce yourself by saying I received your name through a mutual friend. Don't lie. When the executive recruiter or human resources manager invites you for an interview, don't get verbal diarrhea. Be clear and to the point. When you are being interviewed, make it known to the person interviewing you after you have listened to him, that you are interested. Don't pretend not to be interested and think this gives you negotiating power. Employers are not looking for disinterested people. After an interview, do not call an executive recruiter or employer without a reason. No friendly inquiries. Do not phone the hiring executive and ask about the status of your application. Don't call us, we'll call you. Never talk badly about your past employer. Present your relevant abilities in the best light. The spirit of the work world 14. Create a different version of your resume for every employer. Tailor your resume to them. Use strategic keywords as in the job title. Describe your qualifications as the job qualifications they're looking for. Create the right impression. They don't like arrogance, disrespect, narcissism, exaggerated sense of importance. They like obedient clones who keep quiet and do as they're told. Dress as conservatively as possible. It shows deference, a high quality in the job hunt. Walking into an interview cold is stupid arrogance. Study the company before you go in. Looking for a job should be approached as your job, looking for a job. Do networking. If you don't know anybody in real life, find local and industry groups at linkedin.com. Create a local group or blog for your industry. Act like you get up every day and go to work or have a routine. They don't like people who can't get up and show up 5 days a week. Changing careers is not necessarily easy. Firstly, pick an industry where there is a demand like medical workers. Never send more than one email to a potential employer every 2 weeks. People hate people who bother them. Find job recruiters who specialize in your industry. Show them that you're a top quality human being. Learn to use Skype and Zoom.us in case you're asked to do an interview over them. Sign up for them in advance. Dress smartly, even in an online interview. Maintain good eye contact but not so much that you're staring. Set up a professional-looking interview space. Don't do it from a basement cave. Use good lighting. Tell roommates or family to keep quiet during the interview. Be calm. Act in a polite and professional manner. For any skilled work, be as specific as you can about what you can do exactly on your resume. Know exactly the type of job you're looking for, target all the companies and organizations that fall into this category, then bomb them. Most places aren't looking for someone new but can always use a good skilled person in their field, so you have to take initiative and make some waves with them to show you're serious. You can't just send resumes around. Walk around, ask for an appointment with the boss. Introduce yourself. Tell him you're willing to work hard. Go see him every few weeks and ask about openings. Government employment agencies are alright, but good private ones are better because their job is to get you a job for the almighty fee. The easiest way is probably to offer to work for a week for free. If they don't think you're stellar, you will walk away, no questions asked. The harder you work, the luckier you get is an old cliche that's true. Personally, in skilled jobs, I don't think the interview is as important as what you can do with your hands. The so-called job experts spend books trying to coach you in interview techniques, but the way I see it is that if the guy or gal interviewing you is good, they don't care about your eloquence as much as your honesty and straightforwardness. Don't be too much of a bullshitter or brown-noser. You can't do passive job searching. You have to get around, press some flesh, be seen. Make contacts without being pushy. Be friendly. When the job opening comes up, they call you because you've been dropping in asking about a job for the past 6 months. Go places in person, but also send short emails introducing yourself or call people, tell them who you are, what you do, and are interested in coming in for an interview if they want you to. Use both. Send an email then call saying you sent the email. Applications are designed to find the weak, unethical people with roundabout questions and weed them out. One concept that some people are trying rather than sending unsolicited resumes by email or mail is that they compose a short letter introducing themselves, stating their skill, saying they're looking for work and would be happy to come in for an interview if the employer is interested. If you're looking for work, take it as a serious, full-time job, the process of finding a job. Look in your local yellow pages and on online company directory sites to get a list of possible employers. Be positive and proactive about job hunting. You will get discouraged. Be ready for it and minimize it by constantly doing something to help you find a job. Spend at least 3 hours every day on the job hunt. Take care of yourself so you don't look depressed when you go in for interviews. Be polite and thankful to people you come across. Be a helper. It helps you make connections. When someone does you a favor, return it. Thank your God for your life. Be supportive of your family. They have problems too other than worrying about you and your job hunt. Don't try to move too fast. The world operates on its own schedule. Don't expect it to give you a job immediately just because you want one. It takes time. Don't try to supersaturate the market with your presence in one shot. Go steady, do something reasonable every day. Even when you're down, have the foresight to foresee the day when you will be up. There is always something to do to better yourself and your lot in life. You can always do something to become stronger in character. There is no magic formula in finding a job. It's hard work, but the process works for those who work at finding work. Pick industries that interest you. Determine what your skills are, and from these two factors, figure out business you would be good in. Draft your cover letter and resume. Prepare for meeting employers and being interviewed. Study your field. After every job interview, write down the people's names who you met and their phone numbers with a comment or two about them. It might come in handy in the future if you reapply, assuming you don't get the job. The spirit of the work world 15. Be clear about what you want up front. Make a list of everyone you want to work for in your area. Study them, then tailor your resume and contact to suit them. Study. Job description. Company website. Social media. Recent news. Do not to bring up negative press or controversial topics. Don't send out generic resumes. Look at every company and job posting, then tailor your resume to them. Use the strategic keywords that you see them using in the job ad or in the company's jargon/mission statement. People are very, very superficial and trivial. They will reject you in a heartbeat if you do not present yourself as a generic patriot working clone. Forget the creativity BS. They want a conformist clone. Create that obedient impression. These superficial people judge you based on dress. Take the time to look businesslike and clean. Don't go into an interview cold. Take a few minutes to read the PR stuff on a company's website. Informational interviews are BS. You're really fishing for a job. Don't bother people. You can go in LinkedIn.com, find people in your trade, follow them, ask questions, make friends the slow way, then network. Look at yourself. If you don't come across a clean mainstream person, change temporarily. If you're a girl with screechy hair and turquoise nails, tone it down. If you're a guy with long hair and a relaxed style, be more formal. Show deference. Show respect to this person who could offer you a job. Networking is the hidden job market. Wallflowers don't get jobs. Social butterflies get job offers from friends and allies. They don't like lapses of time on resumes. Lie about it. Put down you were in school or running a business. Don't bug people by email. People that actually show up somewhere and ask to see the boss get the jobs. Use the free government job service and recruiters, some of which are free. Stand out any way you can, but don't be a blowhard braggart. Use a free online resume template. You have to pass through automated recruiting software. You do that by using the salient keywords that they're looking for. Emphasize accomplishments on your resume. Follow up sending an e-resume with a phone call or mail a copy of your resume. If you call, tell them you're a serious candidate and good worker. They look at a resume for a few seconds. It has to look clean and have some proven experience on it. Your cover letter should target the specific position you're applying for. Focus on how you can serve as an asset to the company. Don't add information that is not related to the job. Create a blog about your field and put it on your resume. Social media can help or hurt you. Get rid of frivolous stuff. Put up a nice LinkedIn page about you and your field. Most prospective employees in the professional work world have a LinkedIn profile. Join LinkedIn groups in your field. Follow relevant people in your field on LinkedIn.com. Look for job postings on LinkedIn. Identify keywords in your industry by exploring job postings. Create separate professional social media profiles and social media profiles for fun. Prepare for a job interview by rehearsing answers to common questions. Come prepared to an interview with a resume, business cards, and writing samples in case the interviewer asks. Don't have a bad attitude. Don't complain about anything. Follow their directions. If a job posting asks for something, bring it. Don't talk too much or too little. Network as much as possible online, especially on LinkedIn.com. If you're courageous, start a YouTube channel, Twitter channel, or blog for your field. Do not have typos and grammatical errors on your resume. In order to maximize your success, persevere. Try everywhere. Job search engines. Industry websites. Recruiters. Company websites. Clean up. Be as skinny as possible. Look fit. Look like a healthy person in a TV commercial. Act like all those dull serious people you see on TV. Wear a cross where the interviewer can see it like a short necklace or brooch. It's a small world, so don't badmouth anyone. I remember a guy badmouthing a guy to me, and he was talking about my friend's brother. You could be badmouthing your interviewer's friend or brother. Most appealing job traits employers want are professionalism, energy, confidence, communicating effectively, creativity and innovation.